Comic books are really weird to me. I don't understand what's going on in the world of comic books anymore. Um, there's the obvious stuff that we're all aware of with the whole sort of repurposing characters and pushing agendas, and we have professional comic book writers saying, "Don't buy my book," and all sorts of crazy stuff that you would have never imagined, sort of 10, 15 years ago. But it is where it is now. But that's not what I'm talking about. Comic books are very weird. And I have to start this off by talking about sales figures and things like that. No one's reading comic books. Really. The sales are dipping, manga is up, and, sort of the younger crowd and people my age and younger, they seem to just manga. Manga is where it's at, right? But you've got this weird disconnect because, like, then they go and watch an Avengers movie and they wear Avengers t shirts, but they don't read Avengers books. None of those Marvel movies had an increase in comic book sales. None of the DC movies have increases in comic book sales for DC either. Um, and I don't understand what's going on here because you would like it seems like common sense, right? We make a popular movie, people go out and buy the book, you know. But that's not what's happening, and yet manga is soaring somehow, and manga doesn't have live action adaptations. And I'm starting to think that maybe comics are weird because movies are killing comics. Among all the other stuff, I don't need a million, although I dare you to do it, but I don't need a million comments saying, it's because wokeness. I know, but there's other things. But comment it down below. I dare you. So, yeah, comics are weird. And I think movies are partly to blame. I think people don't need to read comics or don't feel the need to go to the bookstore and read a comic book because they can just watch a Batman movie or an Avengers movie or Wonder Woman. They have that. So I think there's probably a mentality going around of like, well, why would I bother reading this book if I can just watch the movie? But then I also think, well, I'm sure when Game of Thrones came out, those books probably had a small spike in sales. And Lord of the Rings obviously had a big sort of revival from the movie. Entire generation of people that are into it. But I don't see that happening with like Batman, Spider-Man, Captain America. I just don't see it. So I don't know what's going on. Comic books are very weird. On the other hand, when an anime comes out, the manga sales go up. And the manga sales keep going up even after the anime's all done. And regardless of the quality of the anime, they go, oh, just read the manga instead, right? But if a bad comic book movie comes out and there's plenty of them, no one goes, oh, I'll just read Suicide Squad instead. And that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen, not just in the comic book realm. So I don't understand. Comic books are weird. Why is it that people will gladly go and see a movie and they'll wear the merchandise, but they won't read the source material? I don't understand. Comic books are just very, very weird. I don't think it's as simple as wokeness. That's a huge problem with comic books, but it's not the reason because people aren't going out and buying back issues of older comic books either. Like, no one's buying the little hardcovers of The Long Halloween, even after that, great movie came out of it. No one's doing it. So, I mean, what do you guys think? What is it that makes comic books so uninteresting to the average person where they don't want to read them? They'll just rather watch the movie. They're not reading the back issues or trying to find out more, and the sales are tanking. Let me know down below, or just tell me it's wokeness, because that's the only reason. Gosh, what am I doing? And yeah, I'm just going to end it here because that's all I had to say. I don't know what's going on, and I think it's a bigger problem than anyone thinks. There's the obvious bits, but yeah, thanks. Have a good night. Oh, God.